Hi, welcome or welcome back. My name is Elena and I love to travel. Right now with my job, I can work remotely, but only within the contiguous United States. So I bought a van. Meet Astro. Let me give you a tour. Astro is a Ford 250 high roof, 148-inch wheelbase extended. So let's see some more. Yay! Welcome in. Okay, come on. So like I said, this is a high roof, so I'm 5'10" and I have plenty of space to stand in it. Even after some insulation, flooring, whatever, I think will be good. Some of the other vans I was looking at had equipment in here and seemed to be the majority of the case, so it was a good catch to find one that was empty. She fits! Okay, so even though she's empty right now, if you're interested, I'll include the layout plans that I have for the vehicle at the end. Okay, let me show you the cab. Alright, so this is the passenger side. Very spacious. Down here, we've got the spare tire situation. I'm afraid to open that, it's a little rusty, but we're gonna leave that there. Cab's so big, I can stand up. It's great. So spacious. One of the best parts about the cab is it has so many cup holders. It's fantastic. So we've got one here, one there. We've got the, obviously, we all know what that is. Not that exciting. It's fantastic. There's no carpet. I love that. The one thing too, when looking at cargo vans, is that a lot of them had the armrests ripped off. I have them. Mine weren't ripped off, so that's exciting. I have an armrest. Cool. Okay. One thing that I love about the 2016s versus the 2019s that I was seeing is that the 2016s have this amazing console. I forgot what it's called for a second. Has this amazing console, so there's two cup holders here. Nice 12 volt regular cigarette battery. All the basics that you need.
Unfortunately, it just has a basic radio, so it feels very ancient, but we can work with that. It also has a backup camera when you are in reverse.
Okay. And this is the driver's side. So once again, we have another cup holder and another cup holder. It's amazing. And technically another one. Okay, and then hopping down. This is where we fill up the gas. I did that for the first time today. And then this is a piece that always likes to come off. So sometimes you'll see vans without it. For obvious reasons. Really dumb. I don't know why it's just not on there.
The engine is flex fuel, meaning I could use regular 87 gas or E85, which is more sustainable and affordable.
Thanks for coming and touring my empty Astro. And if you're still curious to see all the layout designs that I plan on doing, then keep watching. Good job! You made it to the design part of this video. First off, I want to give a big thank you to my bestie Laura for helping me film the tour part of this video and for encouraging me when I was getting shy and people were walking by. Laura is a very talented artist who offers graphic design services and pet portraits, so you should check out her website and I'll add her link in the description below. Okay, let's get back to the designs. There are going to be three parts I want to cover. First being a brief explanation on how these thoughts came about and my inspirations. Two, a pencil and paper sketch of my layout ideas from last fall. And three, a 3D rendition of my sketches. So first, when COVID started 5 years ago and van life became popular, I was immediately intrigued by the lifestyle, although I was too busy finishing out my college degree. Even though I was nowhere near buying a van myself, I was watching my favorite travel YouTubers start their journey and sharing their opinions and experiences. I was watching so many different van life vlogs and layout tours. I started a Pinterest board at that time that I still use today. I've read countless of blogs and articles, and I've daydreamed ideas even more. Throughout the years, I've gone through waves of being really serious about buying a van to calming down a little bit, but still looking at designs in between. So last fall when I sketched the layout, and even earlier this year when I did the 3D rendition, I had no idea that I was gonna buy a van this soon. But I was 100% sure that I wanted to start taking this seriously. So, half a month ago, on May 30th, I bought my van. So that being said, let me finally show you the plans.
This is my sketch I did last fall before I even knew that I was buying a van. Now this is a layout that I'm pretty sold on doing after seeing a bunch of layout videos on the van. This is where it has a fixed bed situation, 2 bench seats right here with a table in the middle. Over here you'd have the counter space, and then a portion to be able to flip up to extend the counter space or not, and swivel seats. This would be a shower / bathroom, and I also toyed around with the idea of making the table slide down, and then you'd be able to put a bench right there. I still would love the idea of having a bed be able to slide out over top of the counter and somewhere over here to extend the bed length if needed. Going over some of my note ideas, I would have a monitor on the wall that swivels out to be a TV or a work monitor. A different idea that I came up with later or saw on Pinterest somewhere, where the table here, it would be a storage container that would have a monitor your computer needs, so it could be a desk or a table without it being cluttery. If a bed's not long enough widthwise, then have it extend to sleep lengthwise. Like how I was saying, I'd want the bed to slide out. However, I've also looked into capsules, which would extend the width of the back of the van. And I'm 5'10", and that should allow me to sleep widthwise. And there's options to have a collapsible table that can pop up by the swivel seat, so this person could also have a desk, a table situation. The table converts into a bench. There would be stove and sink covers to blend in with the counter space and double as cutting board. However, I'm also not planning on having an integrated stove space, and I want that to be separate, so that way if you are in a good location parked, then you could just take your stove outside and set it up on a table. The shower, I want it to be as small as possible, but while still being comfortable to shave your legs, do whatever you need to do. I'm toying with the idea about the toilet. I've seen some builds where the toilet just slides out from being underneath this bench, or because I'll be trying to do this with a cat, I'll probably need more storage space, so I'm also toying with the idea of manually carrying this out. I'm not sure yet on that. So ultimately, this is how my layout design has started, and I have fallen in love with the idea of this one. Moving on to the 3D version of this, it's pretty much the same exact thing as my sketches. The only main difference is that by using the capsules to sleep widthwise, I'm hoping to squeeze in some storage space next to the shower. This is also an accurate representation of how I would like my overhead storage to be. Although over top of the pillows, I would also like to add in a shelf, potentially. Just something that's not so enclosing in the sleeping space. The bed would be high enough to be able to sit up straight without hitting your head on the ceiling, but also enough to where there's ample storage space underneath it. I would like to have the dining area have a step up, so that way we can have some storage underneath the seating area. It's still a bit difficult to really show you my design layouts with this rendering, but I hope that it helps get the big picture and some of the details more clearly from my sketches. I would love to hear below what you would put in your van, your types of layouts, and why. Or if there's something in my van build that you would not want and why you wouldn't want that either.
Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, or even if you didn't, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you want to stay up to date on the process and the adventures to come. I also post other travel videos as I love to go international if that is more your vibe. So I hope to see you again soon.
And yes, I was reminded after naming him, it, she, he, that Jesus also drives an Astro van, so we have a lot in common.
Jesus drives an Astro